Hi guys, it's Mike with K.I.S.S Dog Training. Welcome back. We are going to continue our little conversation on frustration and expectation, but we're going to look at it from a little different angle. My girlfriend and I both foster puppies for a local rescue here in Kansas City, and we're constantly getting phone calls of people seeing pictures of the dogs or seeing us out in public with these foster puppies, and some of the questions that we get asked when people are thinking about getting a puppy, it's obvious that they really haven't done their homework on what does it mean to have a dog, or for God's sake even having a puppy, which is tougher. In the last topic, we talked about the new book that we just released, which is So You Want a Dog or You Already Have One, and What the Fluff is the title of the book. It's basically just geared towards what do I need to be prepared for as we bring this new little ball of fur into the family, and that's where we talk about expectation. The reason I'm kind of talking this topic for a podcast or a video, however you're getting this information, is because we are seeing such a high rate of people relinquishing dogs. Okay, if you work 12 hours a day and you can't come home at lunch and there's nobody in your family who can help you out, now's not the right time for you to get a dog. I don't care how bad you want one. A dog has to be potty trained, and that's going to require frequency and consistency of going out to the potty spot and giving lots of opportunities. It'll require some crate training so the dog can learn I don't poop or pee here, I hold it, but when you let me out and we're going to go to the bathroom. We then have to learn, what to chew on, what not to chew on. We have to get a good veterinarian. We got to get a good groomer. We got to get, you know, all the, good trainer. All this stuff needs to be set up before you get the dog, not when you get the dog, and while you're trying to work a full-time job, maybe with 3 kids all under the age of 6 and a better half that travels 2 weeks out of the month. You're setting yourself up for frustration. Um, a lot of rescues will use the idea of the 3-3-3 rule, which is 3 days, 3 weeks, and 3 months. And kind of, I guess, the easy way to say this is a lot of times puppies appear to be perfect. They're just laid back, they're easygoing, but they're not comfortable enough to really show us who they are. And I think that's kind of the mindset of the 3-3-3 rule, is that at 3 days, I'm only going to show you a little bit of who I am. At 3 weeks, I might show you a little bit more of who I am. And by 3 months, I feel comfortable. And now you really see who I am. So a lot of times the frustration comes out around that 3 month mark because we thought this was the behavior that we had seen up till then, which was normal. And that was just kind of getting used to it. I will joke with my clients all the time that I look at the 3 day mark as kind of a blind date. It's fun, but you don't know what the rules are. 3 weeks, more like real dating now. We really like each other, we're into this, but we're still working out the rules and we're not sure what's going on. And 3 months is more like a really serious relationship, maybe a marriage where you leave the bathroom door open, I'll show you all my warts, I'll be completely honest about who I am, and that's when most people are kind of like, wow, dating was way different than living with you. Um, all of these things are the stuff that I wish more rescues would spend more time talking about, and trainers would spend more time talking about before people get dogs. I've been a firm believer for the last 15 years, the most beneficial amount of money you can spend is hiring a trainer before you get the dog, so that we can talk, what was this breed bred for, what are going to be some of the issues I'm going to see going forward. Why would I want to think that a herding dog puppy would not be a great idea with 3 kids under the age of 6, because that dog's going to try to herd the kids. Every dog breed that's out there was bred to do a job. I always joke with people that if you go out and you want to get the toughest looking dog in the world, why are you shocked when the dog is the toughest dog in the world? Genetics, are a great predictor into what's going on. Doesn't mean that one particular kind of dog is good, bad, or indifferent, but they were bred to do a job. In fact, if you're listening to this right now, I would really, really recommend a book by a woman named Kim Brophy called Meet Your Dog. If you haven't read it, it was a book that really made a big impact on me. But it's one of these, again, that if you find yourself frustrated with a puppy or a new dog, you got to take a step back and go, what were my expectations? Are those realistic expectations? And how are those things affecting my frustration level? We may need to turn around and get the dog into doggy daycare. We may need to look at dog walkers. We may need to look at family and friends to come over at lunchtime and to play with the dog. And this may be all stuff that you have figured out when you realize you can't afford doggy daycare. Or how am I going to afford heartworm medication, grooming on this dog, doggy daycare, and hire a trainer, and realize that I've got this cute little ball of fluff that's just now becoming a teenager. So it was a cute puppy, and now it's becoming a teenager. I probably got a year or so that it's going to be a challenge. Um, I think we go into it with the idea that everything will be great, and then when it's not, it's really easy just to relinquish the dogs, and then we end up with these full shelters, and then we're trying to figure out how to get these dogs back, into the world. So it's just don't go in unawares. I tell people I want you to go in eyes wide open. There's a reason why my prices are on the website, that I have a very detailed fine print and frequently asked questions on the website. Everything we try to be as transparent as possible. Um, hey, let's face it. Having a dog can be frustrating. And if you're one of those people, I guess this will be my last little caveat about this topic, is if you were one of those people cursed with a perfect dog first, you're going to assume that all dogs are going to be just like that. And really and truly, I've had to convince a lot of people you should have gone out and bought a lottery ticket, because that dog is not typical of what dogs are normally like. Potty training, if done right, can be done pretty quickly, but it's not easy. Chew toy training, it can be done, but it's not necessarily easy. It requires consistency and frequency. Taking a dog for a walk and teaching them not to pull and pay attention to you, well, it takes practice. All of this stuff. But there are a lot of people out there that got that one dog, their forever dog, and they got them first, and that dog just kind of fell into place. Those are not the normal dogs. Those are the exceptions, not the rules. But with all that being said, if you are kind of experiencing this frustration and you need some help, get hold of us. Call us. We're here in Kansas City. We do virtual sessions. Excuse me, so we can work with you over the internet. We can work in person. We've got books, we've got videos, we've got all sorts of stuff to help. But don't, before you relinquish the dog, which I'll be honest, let me be clear. If you're in over your head, sometimes relinquishing the dog is the absolute best thing for the dog. But if you're somebody who wants to work on it and try to improve, and you have patience and you're willing to be frequent and consistent with the practice, reach out, okay? And if we can't help you, we'll find somebody in your area who can. Once again, this is Mike with K.I.S.S Dog Training. We appreciate it. You have a great day.